Hey Taeler Army, welcome back to another episode of All Things Taeler. As you can see, I am outdoors and not in my little tiny house on wheels, so I am just super excited to be outside in this amazing weather. It's not too sunny, it's not too hot or cold, it's just amazing. And as you can see, I am coughing up a storm already. Slinky and I are just really excited to be outside and enjoying the weather. The month of May has just been so insane, guys. I have been completely lit on social media. I am loving it. And in case you haven't noticed, my red hair is back. I'm so excited. I bought a new selfie stick since I broke my Groupon gadget because I'm just a calamity outside of the ring, but gotta roll with the punches, right? So I actually had the flu for about 2 weeks in May. It was insane, and I'm the type of person that just really gets really PO'd when I'm sick, so I try to be just as productive as possible, even if I'm like zombified, gotta sleep. I just get crazy. So it's been very productive. I am sitting on just so many fun projects. I just cannot wait to just share with you guys. I'm just having so much fun just living life, and it really kind of, I'm sorry about all the shaking, by the way. Still trying to get used to this selfie stick here, so give me 1 second. I am just loving life, really, and I am just having so much fun giving back, and it just really kind of just goes to show you that people are right when they say you're literally one decision away from just a completely new life. I went from just wanting to give up everything, and I was just so depressed, to all of a sudden just feeling like I'm one of the most blessed people in the world. And I love having 0 F's to give and just kind of being myself, for good or for bad, and watching other workers hate on me and my success is now hilarious to me. Like, I do not have butthurt feelings about it now whatsoever, and I really have you guys to thank for that. You guys have given me such a new, I almost want to say, lease on life in a way, because I mean, there were so many bad things happening to me, and it's so discouraging when you just feel like you keep getting just punched in the face and just you're down in the dirt, and you have to try to keep coming up with ways to keep getting back up, and you don't have that support and that stuff that you need, that grit, And I've always been a person that's kind of had a really hard time with having tough skin. I've always been a very sensitive person. And now with you guys and just with my life where it's headed, I have 0 fucks, guys, 0. And I'm just so excited. And it's kind of that mentality I've really needed my whole life and my whole career, and I finally have it now. I have my dog, I have my fiance, I have a roof over my head, I have food to eat, I have clothes on my back, I am doing what I love every day. I mean, there's not a lot to really hate on. My family is in good health, I am doing the best I can with my health, and I'm still living my dreams. I'm not being a statistic, I'm not letting my circumstances define me, and I want to keep giving that back to you guys because you all are so much a part of that. And it sounds so corny, but I'm corny. I am an imperfect person, and I love that. So I'm just gonna keep doing me, and hopefully you guys keep getting on board this train because we are leaving the station. I'm so corny. In case you're wondering what's behind me, I was so excited. Last week, my fiance Corey and I we love getting our hands dirty and just working on projects. I'm very much a DIY person. I love being creative and, letting the creative juices flow and stuff. And we made a hen house, the chicken coop. It's so cool. It was really cool to, build it with our own 2 hands. And I'm going to paint it so it's red and white. I'm super stoked. And it's going to say hen house. And they're going to be little chicks fresh from the hatchery. I am so excited. And I've always been a very curious person. I love to learn about new things. I love asking people questions, and as you can see from my social media, I love asking questions, and so to me, I love hearing what all your answers are, and I've actually seen other wrestlers start doing that, so it kind of made me laugh, but in a way I was like, you know what, keep copying it. It's okay, because at the end of the day, who are the winners? The fans. You all are getting, to talk to wrestlers more now than you ever have, and that's awesome. So you can't really hate on that, right? So I've always been a very curious person, and with this, I'm starting to learn about, the agricultural and economic, aspects of where food comes from, how it affects our health, and, not just being aware, but also, making a difference, I am so against animal cruelty, and I'm also really against all these people these days that are making money by pushing products that they don't even try or believe in. And then say fast forward 10 years, a bunch of people are getting sick from those very same products, but you're not sick because you weren't trying the products that you were pushing. I can't stand those types of people. And now there's people that call out celebrities saying, yo, you don't even use that stuff. Why are you trying to push it just to make, you know, a quick buck? And I don't want to be one of those people. So I'm putting my money on the line with things so you don't have to. I think that's really awesome. And one of the things will be about my hair. So I'm really excited. And guys, even if you don't find it relevant for you, it might be relevant for someone you know, and then you'll get extra brownie points for knowing stuff about, you know, cool makeup to surprise your women with, or, you know, just something like that. You'll get massive brownie points. So even if you don't feel like it's for you, it's still for you. So, but yeah, I just love learning about these things. You know, when you realize that I think it's almost 60% of, you know, our population actually is dealing with different health problems, and such as autoimmune diseases and things, it makes you start to wonder, because you don't really wonder about a lot of these things until, you know, you're sick. Like, a lot of people aren't aware of certain things until it affects them, because that's just the kind of society that we live in, you know? So it's been really interesting kind of reading and learning all about that kind of stuff, you know, whether it's a paleo diet, keto diet, carnivore, vegetarian, vegan, you know, regular, like all these different things, all these fad diets and supplements and shakes and all this other stuff. So it's very interesting. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. Very excited. Also, another thing, while I was sick with the flu, oh my gosh, I was a mess for 2 weeks. It was disgusting. Be glad I did not do videos of that. My cat that Corey and I rescued had kittens. Oh my gosh. So we apparently must have adopted her, and she had already gotten pregnant and we didn't know. And I don't think the people that we adopted her from knew either, but it's such a cute story, really, because Corey found out, he has such a big heart. I love him so much. He found out that there was this cat that had been pregnant with 7 or 8 kittens, and she was pregnant while she's pretty much a kitten herself. She probably was only like 6 or 7 months old or so, give or take. And she was pregnant with these kittens inside of her, and she had to escape those Malibu fires that happen where, you know, people read all these articles about celebrities fleeing their homes with taking whatever they could and stuff. Those fires, this cat, somehow, being a kitten herself, managed to be pregnant and waddle her way escaping these fires. And I thought that was just amazing, so inspiring, that resilience, that, you know, that instinct. I thought it was amazing. And everybody was adopting all of her kittens, and then there was these 2 kittens left, and they were getting split up and going into 2 different homes, and nobody wanted the mom. So sad. And I was very heartbroken by that. And, you know, Corey was like, you know, it's a shame, because, you know, if we had the opportunity, we would keep the mom and her last 2 babies together. And that's how we ended up adopting 3 kittens earlier this year. And lo and behold, she was pregnant, right? And I named the mommy Slayer. And for you diehard Taeler fans, you all know that I'm a huge Slayer fan. Love that band. And I was just so inspired that, you know, she had this amazing backstory to her that I was like, girl, you slay. You are a badass. Your new name is Slayer. So that's how Slayer came to be in our awesome little tiny house on wheels. So excited about it. And then she had a boy and a girl kitten that came with her. And Corey and I are both huge fans of that old show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, with Melissa Joan Hart. So we named the boy Salem Saberhagen, and it's kind of funny because he looks like a Wookiee a lot. So we have a lot of Star Wars references in our house. And then his sister is like a mini-me of her mom. Her name is Sabrina Spellman. So we have, oh hi bud, Slinky decided to join the party. Slinky the Weenie, everybody. You can follow him on Instagram, by the way, and you get to have all kinds of updates about all of the little furry friends we have in our tiny house. It's a really fun time. I love animals, so I love being able to kind of help them. So we have Slinky, Slayer, Salem, and Sabrina. Notice the theme. So now that we have kittens, they were born on May 18th and May 19th. And what's really cool is just 2 days ago, they opened up their eyes for the first time, and it was so cool. And she trusts us so much that she actually allowed me to be there with her, and I got to help her birth 5 out of 6 of her babies. It was such an amazing experience to be a part of, and the fact that she trusted me enough to let me in with that was just so amazing. And just being a part of that whole experience, it was such a gratifying and humbling experience that she trusted us that much, you know. So the first kitten, guys, I wanted to introduce, I don't have him out here because he needs some more mommy time, but he was born a full 12 hours, almost to the dot, before his next sibling. It was crazy. So we named him Excalibur because he's an overachiever and he's a badass. And then the next sibling came 12 hours later, and we named him Archimedes. You can sense the theme we're going with here. So we're just having a blast. It has been so amazing, and I just cannot wait for the rest of this year. I have so many things I've been sitting on, saving to announce to y'all. It's amazing to be a Taeler fan right now. I swear to goodness, the Taeler Army is so cool. One of the things that is also happening right now is over the last few months, I've been kind of giving subtle little shout outs about my children's book. And yes, it is happening. I am super excited about it. What you guys don't know is this has actually been a project of mine that has been years upon years in the making. And when I mean years, I mean it was started in like 2007. So I kind of wanted to give a little backstory to that in this video and kind of update you guys on everything that's been happening in the month of May in Taeler's Tiny House on Wheels, the Taeler Hendrix experience. So while I was down, not with the flu, like I was saying, I'm like, ugh! I hate being sick, so I get like really mad and crotchety, and at the same time I'm probably like a zombie going can't breathe, can't sleep, have a hard time eating, and all this other crap. So I try to be as productive as possible, and you guys have been seeing me just being totally lit all month long on my social media. I've been having a blast with that, having 0 F's to give. I love it. When you're living life unfiltered and just being free with your authenticity, it is the most liberating experience. Seriously, it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk, but I mean, if you tell it how it is, not for the sake of being a jerk, but just because that's how it is so freeing. And I feel just so at home for like one of the first times in my entire life. It has been just so amazing. I am just loving life right now, and I hope it's literally like jumping out of the screen at you guys, because I just have so much energy. I am so excited. I'm like, I can somewhat breathe. And I'm not sick anymore, and just all this other stuff. And I have so many cool wrestling things coming up. I have this book. I've got so many different projects, and you know, it's just really, really cool. So I kind of wanted to give everybody in the Taeler Army that has subscribed to my YouTube channel a kind of sneak peek about what my book is going to be about, how it came about, and why I'm so excited about it. So in case you guys remember, or if you haven't seen the videos yet, in at least two of my prior videos on this YouTube channel, I mentioned about being a school teacher and about public speaking and creativity and writing, and how I thought they were so important, and how I really felt about that when it comes to children, and when it became time for my wrestling career. And that kind of all actually ties into my book. So I always felt, you know, to be a wrestler, you should also know how to act and be able to talk on a mic, and kind of just have no excuse for any limitations that you can or cannot do, right? So when I was a teacher with the YMCA, how it works is we had locations at different schools. So I was working at this one school in Massachusetts, and they were offering sign-ups for anybody that wanted to apply to do an after-school program. And so I did, and what I did was, my after-school program that I was doing in conjunction with the Y was creative writing and public speaking for kids, for 5th and 6th graders, because I just felt it was so important for kids to kind of get over that fear young, so they can have the confidence to, you know, carry themselves, whether it's to get a job, whether it's, you know, even if it's just simply to defend themselves, or to be more charismatic, or just have one less thing in this world to be afraid of, you know, get those creative juices flowing. So it was really cool that I created a newsletter for them that we would pass through the school weekly, and it was called the Nonsensical Newsletter. So I was really, really excited about it, and it was super cool, and it was such a great experience because they were no longer afraid of those things, which I felt was going to be great for them later on when they have to do school presentations when they're older, or go for job interviews, apply to college. You know, get rid of that stuff young. And then especially if they want to be pro wrestlers, which most of them didn't, but if they want to be a pro wrestler, then they would have that talking thing down. Remember, charisma can't be taught. You either got it or you don't. So backtrack some more. My book, when I say it started years ago, I literally mean it started in 2007. So when I was a senior in high school, I took a lot of AP classes, which basically is a nerdy way of saying advanced placement. So you have regular level, you have honors, and then you have advanced placement. And those were like super hard, but I thought they were going to look good on a college application, right? So I did it. And I had this badass teacher named Mrs. Cabral at New Bedford High School, and she was noticing over the years that a lot of kids were having a really hard time with representing themselves in their college admissions essays. So over 20% of our grade was going to be our college admissions essays, and she was helping us with them. And it was such a really cool thing because I ended up turning my college admissions essay into another assignment for another class where I kept, improving upon it and adding to it. And then when I got into college as a freshman in English 101, I had to write a narrative essay. So I turned that into my narrative essay. And slowly throughout the years, it's turned into like a mini book. And so it's really exciting. So in 2007, I wrote my college admissions essay, and you guys are kind of going to laugh. My college admissions essay was a narrative about my grandpa, describing my grandpa reading me Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. It's like, who does that for their college admissions essay, right? This girl. So that's a really fun Taeler fact for the day, guys. That is how my book started. That was the humble origins of my children's book. And I go into like really cute details about, my bed, what it looked like, and my grandpa's mannerisms, And it was kind of like a memoriam almost to my grandpa, because he actually died my junior year in high school. So he didn't get to see me graduate, and he was always like a really big part of my life. He used to call me by my middle name, and he always told me I was going to be some sort of athlete when I grew up. And it's kind of funny because I did. So I like to think he's looking down on me. And I just have so many great memories, I talked on social media about how he actually went into the military early, like underage, because all of his brothers went into the military, went into the Army, and he was left all alone. His dad walked out on them. His mother died. So the government actually let him go into the military, the Army, and so he could be with his brothers. So my grandpa actually served in the Gulf War before he was 18 years old. Yeah, and I just think he's such an inspirational badass to me, and I love him for it. And he's actually my step grandpa. He wasn't my biological grandpa. And to me, it takes such a real person to love somebody else's kids and grandkids and stuff. That's a real testament to the human being that they are. And he was nothing but love and support and just amazingness. He's so amazing. I love him so much. So getting to do my college essay and getting into every school I applied to except one was really awesome. It was kind of like, yeah, Grandpa, we did it. We did it, man. Love you. And then getting to turn that into other assignments that were successful, and now turning it into an actual children's book. It's such a gratifying experience. It's so humbling. And so many people say they're going to do something and they never do it. And I'm just lucky enough where I've found ways that when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I find a way to get it done. And this is one of those things. So my children's book is about my grandpa, but it's about a little girl who is afraid to go to sleep in her house and is afraid of the dark because it sounds like her house is haunted. And so her grandpa kind of teaches her to create this own special place in her mind so that she's never afraid anymore. And that's kind of what my book is about. It's kind of turning things that make you afraid and kind of embracing them and turning them into something that you look forward to. Kind of like one of those face your fear sort of things, but also that the mind is the strongest asset that you have. And if you change your mindset, you can change anything. And that's kind of what my book is about. And I just love it. It's like a little kid wrote it. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean it because I literally felt like I was a child writing it, because I had such a childlike wonder and enthusiasm getting put into this book. And so I kind of wanted to share those little bits of backstory and information, humble origins of my book, with all of you that were so awesome to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So those are some of the awesome things that have been happening in the month of May and the Taeler Hendrix experience. Red hair back, no more flu, kittens that just opened up their eyeballs. They're so adorable. They're like little grumpy old men with their little tiny faces and their claws that don't contract. They're just so cute. I think they're gonna have blue eyes. Working on my book has just been so amazing. It kind of made the flu worth it, even though I felt like I was dying. I just want to say thank you guys so much, and I am going to be religiously posting on this channel. I am loving everything that you guys are just empowering me to do,